Oh, sorry.
That's good.
Hello, the Twitch channel. Let's see. I'm Alfonso Romero. I commentated the previous YOCC with David Bowie.
Yes, and I reluctantly stole your position.
So this is just the beginning of top 8?
Yes, we're starting top 8.
Ooh.
We
So we
picked.
got Iris
It was
and
hard to
Eric.
pick anyone to stream because we'd streamed almost every other player earlier today. Idris is the only player we haven't streamed more than twice at this point.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow. Let's see, do we got any questions in the chat? Anybody who wants to know what cards are going for? What's... Hello.
all right. So I'm going to be announcing the top 8 now. For those at home, we have Mark Levine versus Irvin So. We have Owen Thompson earlier in our round 3 feature match versus Matthew Van Den Heuvel. We've got Idris versus Eric that we're going to be covering right now. And we've also got Eric Dalton, who we just featured last round, against EJ Locke, the Satellite player that we actually watched, unfortunately, lose earlier today.
Eric Dalton is a really good player. I versed him in regionals in the round 7 when I was 501. And he's just a really, really consistent player. Like
Oh, I know. We watched him play.
He's been
And
topping 8 every event.
he made some really questionable plays for us. Like, we didn't understand what the heck was going on.
Oh, okay.
For example, game 2, he went Mathematician into Felice pass.
Oh.
No, then we were like, what the hell? Like, we didn't know what was going on. And we interviewed him afterwards, and he told us that he had an El Shaddoll fusion set.
Yeah.
So
he has the light or the earth.
Yeah,
function.
so he said that doing that play allowed him to turbo into a construct in a way that he otherwise wouldn't have been able to do.
That's cool.
And here we thought the standard play was, we go Squamata into Falco or go Squamata into Beast. So the fact that he wait, like, because normally you want to save the Felice for a big Black Rose play or a big Arcanine play down the road. So the fact that he just settled with that, we were really confused. But talking to him later, it made a lot more sense.
El Shaddoll Fusion has really given players in the Shadow decks more options, and being able to utilize your deck and have all those options is really nice.
Oh, El Shaddoll Fusion is
Yeah,
an
it's a good
amazing
card.
card. It's almost too good. The only good thing about it is that it doesn't have that extra stipulation of sending from your deck.
It just makes the OTKs even faster.
Yo, I know.
If you realistically think about it, you can do a lot of damage in one turn if like they don't have anything on board.
Well, it essentially gives you almost 4 super polys now in terms of going for game. So
You could even tech in the defusion and go with silly plays.
yeah, well, I've actually talked to some Shaddoll players who are actually they're maining a couple defusions just for the mirror match because they thought it would be a lot more prevalent.
Oh, okay.
And actually, a friend of mine, he was on DN and he was playing he was playing the Artifact Engine, and his opponent went to mind control his construct. He chained his own defusion, brought out I forget the Shaddoll, but he brought out a Moral Talk as well. And since it was his opponent's turn, the Moral Talk was able to do some swift damage.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was really neat.
You know what I haven't seen a lot lately? You know how Bujin players are playing the Kaiser Coliseum?
Yes.
I think that card could be really good this format with like Cleaforts and everything.
We've been talking about that all day because the Rise of Clifford's back row hate is becoming a lot more relevant.
Of course.
So everyone's going to be maining MSTs now. A lot of people are maining Night Beam now. A lot of people are playing Raigeki Break now, especially in Burning Abyss variants. So stuff like Kaiser Coliseum, although good in theory, is probably not going to stick. Like, I think we're going to see a slight decrease in the amount of floodgates nowadays.
Yeah, Floodgates are
because
definitely increasing with the Cleafort now.
yeah, but I think the amount we're going to decrease because everyone's going to be upping their back row hate. So those floodgates are never going to stick, and we're going to see some more permanent solutions, like Time Space Shrapple or Deep Dark Shrapple or Black Horn of Heaven even.
Pretty much
Or-
outs that are going to continue to be on the board at least for 1 or more turns instead of having that chain like that only happens at one time.
Yeah, of course.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so it looks like we're starting off the match. Eric decided to go
Alright,
first.
so starting out the match, David Bowie's going to return. If the Twitch chat wants any input on sales or vending and stuff, just let them know, and maybe I'll come back during the next break. All right, David Bowie.
All right, thanks a lot for coming, Alfonso. So we've got Eric playing the Shaddoll Artifact deck, setting 3 and setting a monster.
Joe, why don't we get a couple drinks? Thanks, buddy.
Idris summoning the GeneX Undyne to pitch Dragoons. He's going to search himself a GeneX controller and an Atlantean Marksman. Clearly looking to make short work of what Eric has on this field.
Peculiar choice. He must have already a special summon outlet to be able to make use of that
I
marksman
think
already.
he's got a sphere in his hand.
He could have that too. Yeah, it's a peculiar choice, but let's see how it pans out. So Indeed, he's going to activate the effective marksman activate the effective Tejas by ditching the marksman. So indeed, he already had an outlet. So it's up to Eric now to see if he wants to make a move on this. If he's going to act, no, he's going to let it go. So he's going to target the monster as the chain link 1, and the chain link 2 is Tejas. Oh, wait, no.
Water deck made it to the top 8?
Yeah. See, I don't necessarily agree with that play because if that's anything short of a dragon, Eric's going to plus off of this as well.
Yeah, it's...
Where are you going? Music?
Well, but it could be a Falco.
Oh, it's a Squamata, which is probably going to send him either a Falco or a Beast.
Which is pretty much one of the worst things. One of the worst things to see. Because it acts as the wild card.
Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and send that
So
Beast.
he's going to give that Beast, yeah.
And he's just going to mitigate that entire destruction.
Yeah.
So it feels like Idris kind of wasted the marksman there.
It did indeed.
And the only time that would have been a good hit is if he knew it was a Falco.
Yes, if you wanted to at least interrupt the play of the Sinister Shadow games. But if that was the case, then he would have a Sinister Shadow game set. There's no reason to set the Falco otherwise.
It just seems like a really poor play on his part. Because he's not really advancing his own game state, and now he's lost a resource because he doesn't play salvage.
Yeah, and now he has to live with it. Now he's going to attack for 29. And does he have a response? Does Eric have one?
And to answer you, Panda, Alfonso does have Rubik, the Burning Abyss tuner. He's selling them for $20 each.
Artifact Sanctum. So he's just going to defend these attacks and just simply put a moral attack on the field.
And if that moral talk destroys that too, Undyne's not getting over that.
The Beagle
he's going to get Beagle Talk, which means he's probably got another moral talk down there.
Yeah, he does. And yeah, it does.
I've never been fond of Beagle Talk.
It's not something you really want to draw.
Especially in this engine because it forces you to play stuff like Ignition.
Yes.
Which is just really inconsistent MSTs.
Interesting that he decided to nuke the Genix Undyne over the Visteus.
Yeah, because now that just opened Idris up to a rank 7 play.
Exactly. So I really questioned that play there. So what is he going to do with this now?
2014. The water player? Anyone tell the water player what year it was?
He's going to go ahead and make that Gaios.
Even I know what those cards do.
Let's go to Abyss Gaios, for God's sake.
And once again, I think Dragosak might have been, or Big Eye even might have been a better play.
Yeah, something
just
like
to eliminate the option of Eric, because now Eric can just make a Pleiades.
I know, it can get
negated by Gaios, yeah, but
he can burn it out. So he will go to Exceed, and he probably will go to Pleiades. That's probably the best.
No, if he's got a breakthrough on it face down. Oh,
Volcasaurus.
Oh. Yeah, is that a breakthrough? Oh, no. Just trying to bait out the Gaios. Maybe he wasn't aware what it did.
And notice how he detached Visteus rather than Tidal.
Yeah, that's a lot of intriguing plays happening. I think these players are just under the pressure right now of being in top 8.
Man,
and they've had such a long day that they're not really paying much attention to what's happening.
A little bit of suspect
Oh.
play here.
So it was to bait out the BLS.
And there it is. That makes sense. Now BLS can banish the
Yeah,
Gaios.
Gaios and no longer a threat. And Idris ends up getting his title regardless.
Well, he can't attack directly with the Volcasaurus. He cannot attack.
Yeah, we will have to call someone out on that if the players
making
do
sure
not
that-
realize this.
Yeah, and he's realizing now that he cannot attack. So,
It still can attack, but just not directly.
yes. And so in the main, well, I don't know what phase we're technically calling this. I guess we're calling it the main phase 2 because we entered the battle phase.
The end of main phase 2, I would say.
I guess so because
Yeah.
he technically tried to make a battle. So I guess he's calling the battle phase here. They can get really
Now-
skirmish around this part.
No, I think Idris' best play here is to make a Megalo. Because that way he can summon his title back and make a Big Eye and steal that BLS.
That's true. He can steal the BLS and he can even steal the Volcasaurus if he wants to. But he's going to opt to go for. Oh, he's the best gun. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
That
so
makes
yeah,
sense.
so he's got the Tucson Grace.
Yeah, so he wants to make the search. So Marksman. So he could very well have another Abyss Pike in his hand or something. But we all know he has at least an Undyne. The other cards.
Let's
though,
go ahead and bring. Yeah, okay. So he's still going to make that big eye play, but luckily it was worked out a little bit better for him because he had that gun in hand.
Yep, but he has a marksman in the hand, so he's got to have some sort of discard outlet.
It's possible that he has another Turge or Pike in hand.
Or he drew into the Typhoon. He could play that too. So let's see what he's going to do now. Or what he can also do is he can also summon the Undyne and go to a level 7. And even go to like a gun gear.
You mean the controller?
Yeah, you can summon the controller and then go to the gun gear. And then that he can make 2 rank 7s. He can make a rank 7 from there as well without having to use title, if he so chooses to.
I still think his best play here would be to Typhoon the back row and make Big Eye.
Yes, he has to hope that back row is not a signature games. So
There
he
it
is
is.
going to go for it anyway. It is.
I think it's a core, actually.
Actually, it looks like it does look like Signature Shadow Games to me. And I can't tell.
No,
but
it was-
does look like a core.
I can't tell.
Yeah, it does look like a core though. And
It is a core. It is a core.
So here comes title. And Eric now leaving out 2 big monsters vulnerable.
Yeah. Because he can take that Volcasaurus and just deal massive amounts of damage to Eric.
Yeah, it all depends on. Or he can take the BLS and just.
And it's quite
vanish.
possible that Idris himself might even play Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger
Yeah.
due to its rank 7 status. And not only that, he can take the Volcasaurus, rank it up, and then still be able to attack with it. Unfortunately, we no longer have his deck list to verify that.
So let's see what he can do. He still has that controller in his hand that he can. Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
he's-
Big guy. Wow. Oh, what he can do is he can take that. He's going to take the.
really
BLS.
opts to take the BLS instead of the Volcasaurus. Curious.
Imagine he can get a Star Eater after this if he actually has the cards. Attack. So he takes the 5. Yeah, let's activate the effect of it again. Strange that he attacked with.
He can't. Oh, he can. That's right. Yeah.
Strange that he didn't decide to attack with like maybe the Abyss Pike over a set monster instead. Oh, the Shadow.
Because if that's a dragon or a Squamata. Oh, no, never mind.
It looked to be. I just barely missed it, but. Oof. I think he should have attacked with the Abyss Pike on a face down, because Abyss Pike can pretty much take down any Shaddoll that's face down defense.
Well, that's why I thought the best play was to take the Volcasaurus, because if that wasn't a dragon or a Squamata, he wouldn't have to worry about losing the BLS.
Oh yeah, definitely wouldn't have. But he had the shot at mirror anyway. It was justified. But for future's sake, he should have attacked with the Abyss Pike on the face down, so that way he can go Volcasaurus over and then another 3,000 direct. But
But if that was a dragon or a Squamata, he would have been able to just kill the BLS beforehand.
no, because he had a shot at mirror set.
Did he have Shadow Mirror?
Yes, he had a
Okay.
shot at mirror set, and he played it. He flipped it up before he attacked.
Okay, I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't see it. That's why.
No, I was so focused on the top row, I didn't look at the bottom row.
So we got Idris with Mermails. Actually takes down Eric's Shaddoll Artifacts game 1. Interesting to see Mermails this high right now in the tournament.
Just have a quick chat about our predictions today. We thought that we were going to see Shaddoll taking it all the way. We're going to see a big representation of Cliff Horse today. Now, in the top 8, we've only seen 2 Cliff Horse decks. Meanwhile, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 Shaddoll decks in the top 8.
Yeah, they are still around there, but they're not just pure. We see Shaddolls
Yeah, they're all different
all
variants.
different variants of it, yeah. One with Chaos Dragons, so we'll see the Light Sworn build. 2 with Artifacts and 1 with the Burning Abyss. So you got another Mermails. 1 Satella Knights. EJ Locke piloting that, even though he had his feature match loss, he still survives.
Yeah, he still managed to come back. That's impressive.
And the two Cool Force that are out there right now.
It's too early to say who's going to squeak out, but if Idris can take a win on this, he will knock one more Shaddoll deck out of contention and be one step closer to becoming our YOCC champion today.
Oh boy, and what a match that could be.
Imagine seeing Mermails winning this. Then we really have to ask ourselves what year it is.
Yeah, really have to ask, what just happened? How did Mermails win this all? I mean, I hung up my Mermail deck for a little bit, but Jesus.
Well, Idris might just give you the confidence you need to
Take
step
it
back into
down.
it.
Yeah, I know, The Cool Forts are the cool forts are Mark Levine. He was the undefeated at Swiss, and Owen Thompson. They're the one playing the cool forts today. Both of them we were featured earlier today.
Owen ended up finishing 5th overall in Swiss after our third round feature match where we featured him.
Oh, good for Owen. He's making some money back.
Pardon me?
He's making some money back.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Yeah, and
he not bad for considering this is the first time he's ever played the deck in a real life setting.
Yeah, now he's got to take you out to dinner. You sold him half the deck. I think you get commission. I think you need a little more commission.
Yeah, certainly do. I'll give him a deal.
Yep. Got a nice little steak dinner in there. I
Yeah.
love it.
I'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah.
I have to take him home. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. More the reason too. Although all you can eat shrimp is done at Red Lobster, unfortunately.
Is it done?
Yeah, it's done.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
I'm sorry.
We could have gone the other night. We chose to go to Japanese instead.
It was November 3rd they stopped.
Oh, nuts!
So Eric is gonna open up with the mathematician to dump Squamata and probably dump a beast, and that's what it looks like. Oh no, it looks like a Falco.
The glare is strong with this one.
It looks like a Falco.
Find it. Yeah, it is a Falco.
So he presumably has a Citizen Shadow game set, ready to be set. Traditional play made by Shaddolls, opening up the power play. Getting off the beast as much as you can is absolutely a strong plays. Sets 3 back rows. And that mathematician just replaces itself. Just replenishes that one card.
Yeah, it's such a strong card.
So it feels like you never lost a card.
And just someone didn't tell Eric you're only supposed to start with 5 now.
Undone, also a brilliant opening with Mermail. So what a floater that card is.
Undyne is very difficult to deal with because that's the only way to really deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because its effect is a cost. So you're still gonna send whatever to the grave regardless.
Yeah.
And you're still gonna get that controller.
It's pointless to negate.
Yeah.
To negate it. So. So the Falco got flipped.
Oh, and he's gonna chain ignition on the Shadow Mirror.
Yep. Break the skill. Okay. Definitely does not want that skull on model.
I feel like that's a bit of a waste. I don't think I want to burn the breakthrough on that Falco. Oh, and he's gonna chain. Is he gonna make a Shekinaga?
Maybe not.
Because that Falco is off board now. It's going to resolve. Oh my goodness!
What a chain.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 link chain.
So in the end result, what we're going to see here is that we're just going to see Shaddoll Falco just have its effect negated, and nothing else.
Yeah.
And everything else resolves without effect. That comes down to it. That's going to be the bottom line.
And in one fell swoop, Eric's able to get pushed through all of Idris's back row. A play he didn't even expect to be doing.
None of them being an Abyss Sphere.
Yeah.
Which is a key card in the Mermail deck. And I should know. It's such a security blanket to have. Attacks for 600 and attacks for 15. And that puts him down to a 59. It's 21 and gets off the board.
Losing all of those traps really set Idris back because now he's not going to have very much protection in his plays.
I don't know. Oh, it looks like you traded for a beast.
Yep.
Hey, and you know what? All that is fine and dandy. What happened? He cleared all of his back row to all this time.
Eric's just going to see more free cards next turn.
Yeah.
And now all Idris is stuck with is looks like an Undyne, and I think he's got a sphere in his hand now.
We definitely have to play the Undyne now.
Now he can use Undyne. He doesn't have very many options with that Undyne right now. None of those cards are really going to advance his board. He could send Title just to give himself a beater, or he could send Marksman to clear some cards, or maybe send Heavy Infantry just to get rid of that Mathematician to prevent the draw. But all of which, those are all subpar options right now.
I think the best one right now is to just get a title.
I would say so too, but it all depends on what's in his hand.
It does, but at the same time, like, you know what, you want to get that title out of the way now, in case you can get a level 7 for later, and then use it in conjunction with that title. Because let's face it, that Undyne is doomed to hit the graveyard next turn.
Oh, for sure.
But he's gonna go with the marksman play. He wants to be able to nuke the beast and just give him one draw rather than the draw two. It feels almost like a waste, but.
I agree. I think sending the title would be the better play, just to give him options later on in the game.
Yeah. But let's see if he does have that sphere. I don't think he may not actually have it. And he just passes, and he's just gonna accept Judgment Day for this turn.
I think we're gonna be going into a third game.
I think so too. Eric has now assumed control, but fortunately for Idris, that's all he's gonna dish out. So 300 off puts him down to 54.
And once again, that just shows the power of El Shaddoll Fusion, forcing Idris out to play 3 cards that he otherwise wanted to keep. And it set him back so much. Oh, he has the title in his hand.
Oh no, that's not what we want to see. So he's got oh my, he's doing it early.
So he's probably going to make a Leo this turn now. Oh, and
oh no.
Are we going into a third game, folks?
Oh no, that's not what you want to see.
No, definitely not. Oh, and he lets it go.
He has to say bye to that dragon. His wings are clipped. He's not flying out of that hole.
He's not swimming either.
No way, no how. And he has to set a card.
I think that's a controller.
It seems like a controller. Judging from the way Idris is reacting to it, it's probably a controller. And he's going to get the hedgehog. And he's going to search for it. Probably.
I'll get El Shaddoll. Oh, no, just gets regular Shaddoll.
Oh, regular, yeah. He couldn't if he tried. He already activated the effective title.
Oh, he's going to make Armades just with salt in the wound, just in case that is a limb.
Oh. Swing away.
Yep.
And it's a controller. But 15.
And now Idris is locked out even if he does draw a Lind.
Yep. End result. Well, he can attack the mathematician.
Oh, he draws the second
God, that's
controller.
not what you want to draw.
Oh, no.
Nobody wants to draw that. He's just going to pounce on it. Yep. It's obviously not a Lind. If it was a Lind, he would probably force it through towards the mathematician rather than having to set it.
Eric just keeps accumulating back row. This is not a fair fight for Idris right now.
But now he's got something. He's a marksman.
Oh, he's got a marksman.
He's letting it go. And I think at this point, the Abyss Lind is the best thing. So you can at least ram to the mathematician and then try to ram into the Armades afterwards. That's probably the best play to make. But he has to be careful, though, because I almost sense one of them face downs as a compulsory evacuation device.
Or it could be a Shadow Games, too. Oh, it's Ignition. Does he have his own artifact?
Oh, it looks like it.
That's a moral talk. We're in for an upset. And it is.
Oh, no.
And we're going to a third game.
And he's just scooping up.
With the revelation of that information.
Because he has absolutely nothing. No other players.
There's absolutely nothing Idris can do now.
Sense. So if you're just joining us here, we are in the quarterfinals of the top 8 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Open Cash Championships here in Season 2, our debut of the season. Preliminaries 1. My name is David Twanbui, along here with my broadcast partner, Michael Boar. It's been phenomenal all day. We've been had a long, grueling day, but man, we've had some great matches going on here today.
For sure.
We've got to see the power and the ferocity of the deck that is Coldforts. And we've seen the major impact that the new challenges has brought us today. And what an impact we've seen. And we've seen some amazing things happen during our featured matches.
Yeah, we've seen an armory arm equipped on Shekinaga take down Apocalyphort Towers.
Towers come out. 2 towers come out twice. What gets taken down? And then we've seen how fast that the Coolforts are able to take down the other decks. It made it look like nothing.
Yeah, it was made quick work of them.
Yeah.
And we've seen Idris and his Mermails take down a Shaddoll deck earlier in the day.
Yeah, and we've seen El Shaddoll Fusion at its best, making quite the plays. And here we are now in the top 8 of Mermails. Split 1-1 with Shaddoll artifacts right now. So this is going to be an interesting one for Game 3.
I wish we had our deck list right now, just so we could take a look at what Eric was packing.
Yeah, but well, we do know that Idris does main
Shadow mirror,
triple shadow mirror, and that could be a reason of why he's been able to get so far because he's had that advantage. We're not sure what Eric's running. We didn't really scout his deck list out, so we can't really tell you what he has.
It seems like a bold strategy, though, manning Shadow Mirror. Especially going to an event like this where you know that one of the new decks is entirely Earth-based.
It is, and then he has no cards that are discard outlets in case he draws them, and they're pointless. So it's really difficult to figure out what he's going to do.
So I wonder if it paid off for him. Clearly he made it this far.
Yes.
So I would have liked, if he does win this game, I'd like to sit down and chat with him and ask him what his other matchups were like, and if he had a problem in the Clifford match.
Yeah, you got to wonder if he ever went against any of those today. Even though it seems like a good matchup for him otherwise on paper. So let's start off duel number 3 of the top 8, and Eric is going to start off. I'm going to assume so, as he's making the first action here.
Oh, sorry. I believe Idris is actually starting. He's giving his hand the Death Glare.
Oh.
The Gopher's Death Glare that we've come to learn and appreciate so much.
I find it intriguing that the Mermail player actually wants to go first. I always found that Mermails like to go second.
Yeah, they go second because they work off your opponent having cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Inzector days of yore. You know, you want to make sure that your opponent has cards so you can make your own plays.
Exactly. So you can establish, so you can tear down their field and build up yours, and that's what Inzectors is all about. Mermails, they just thrive off being able to pick apart your entire field and then go have at her.
So it looks like he's opened with a Title, an Undyne, and an Emptiness. That's all I've been able to see so far.
So I'm going to assume he's going to drop the Dragoons, and he's going to want to search a Megalo at this point if he hasn't.
That's what I was thinking, too.
No.
Yeah, he's just skipping some steps here.
Skipping some steps. He's going to dump Dragoons. He's going to assume there's no Valor happening.
Yeah, there's no way to stop that. What do you feel about Valor this format?
I feel like Valor is one of the most underrated cards of the format right now. It is so good. Maybe not good against the Cold Forts right now. It's that makes its value go down a bit. But
so we see Idris shotgunning that Megalo, wanting to get that out immediately.
He wants that.
Likely he's looking to set up a Gaios turn 1.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He doesn't care. He wants it out. Or maybe a Draco sack.
Yeah.
Biscayos. Okay.
No, in such an artifact-heavy engine, I think, and he's got an Emptiness back there to boot. That's a really strong start.
It does. He's got a good opening right now. And that Undyne just virtually makes his first turn draw. You know,
the problem is now he needs to let that Undyne die before he flips the Emptiness.
Yes. Yes, he does. Because that Undyne could be his undoing.
And now Eric can easily force it out, though. Whether he opens... Because if Eric started the game with Shaddoll Fusion, he'll hit that Emptiness. And there's the Mathematician.
No surprises here.
Yeah, I feel that was a bad play, Mathematician. I would have saved the material for something a bit more detrimental. Because the worst case scenario here is that he really sends either a Falco or a Dragon.
Yeah, that or even a Skull Mana for a Beast. He might want to draw. But either way, he doesn't want to give him that advantage. It looks like he doesn't decide he's going to stay there too long. And notice, once again, he doesn't detach Title.
Yeah. It's very strange why he chooses not to detach the... I guess he figures in this instance it doesn't really matter because it's not going to be able to attack regardless.
Yeah.
But
unless he wants to set up, though, it just feels odd. But nonetheless, he chooses not to. So going into main phase 2 here. Oh,
and hit with the Typhoon.
No, sir. Way to make the read.
Still in a very commanding position here, Idris. Really? He's just asking for that Emptiness to get blown up, though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to do that.
Like, he could have easily saved that for a turn where he could bring back the Title and maybe make a Leo or something.
Yeah, he doesn't want that his Vandy's Emptiness to be so susceptible with Janus Controller on the field. But lucky for him, Eric doesn't have a Shaddoll Fusion because he's not playing it.
No, not yet anyway. Maybe he knows that there's an Emptiness back there, and he's trying to bait it out.
Yeah, because he did have to burn a Typhoon already on the Abyss. So just strictly staying on the defensive. He's just going to send a monster and a back or a pass.
Looks like this game, Eric's the one that's going to be drawing dead. And it's possible that he might have his entire artifact suite back there.
You very well could, and that's the dangerous thing
Yeah.
with playing artifacts with the Mermails, is that if Mermails can pop those artifacts unintentionally.
Yeah. And then you just pay the price afterwards. He drew another Undyne.
Undone, so he's going to activate the effect.
And I guarantee he's going to go for a marksman.
Could you imagine if he plays a Gen X ally Triarm?
I don't believe so.
I tried that once. A couple times, actually. And if he does run the Triarm, then he can actually discard a card in his hand to pop a card.
He's got no more cards in his hand.
Yeah, but he's summoning Undyne. Oh, yeah, he's summoning Undyne. So
That's true, yeah.
He's gonna have,
No, I think he's going to send the... Yeah, there's the marksman,
there's the
yeah.
marksman. Well, he has to get the... I don't know why he's continuing to shuffle again.
I think because he doesn't have any more... He might have sided one out, or maybe he just forgot. There it is, okay.
Well, he can't activate the effect in it.
That's true, yeah.
So I don't understand why, unless he got Veilered, which would then be a really bad move. But he can also rank 3 exceed here, too. He can go to level 6 or rank 3 exceed here.
I think right now he wants to push for damage. He's probably going to try to destroy that monster and take take his chances.
It makes sense, though.
Because Eric's back row is an attack reactive right now. Well, looks like he... Did he target the monster? Or did he target the Shaddoll fusion?
That's a good question. We didn't see an indication of what was targeted. It could have been just by word. But if it's by word, then we can probably assume
I think it might have targeted the monster, and now Eric's trying to salvage it. And he's going to flip the emptiness? Yes. Now does Eric have another Typhoon or an Ignition? Because I think he's trying to force out a construct play.
You gotta wonder what kind of reaction does Eric have to this? What can he do? Typhoon, he can Ignition.
I don't think he had, because he burned it so early.
Yeah, he did. He had to burn out in the Abysssphere. And that's one of the beauties, at least, of Mermail.
Take care.
That's one of the beauties of Mermails, though, is that the players are so focused on blowing their Mystical Space Typhoons is that once they blow it, they have room for other cards to take their place and take control of the game, and that's what Emptiness is trying to do right now.
And you got to be really careful with your Typhoons right now. You want to make sure they count.
You do. You can't throw a blind one out there against Mermails.
No, Eric was kind of forced into a corner with the Sphere. I think Typhooning the Sphere is always the right play.
Let's just see if it's going to bite him here. It's a
hedgehog. Oh! Insults to injury right there.
But can he play that? Isn't this the damage step?
No, he destroyed it with Marksman.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. All right.
I think Eric is in checkmate right now.
Oh.
He can't special summon. He can't activate any of his effects. And now Idris just has to attack with all three of his monsters. And that'll put out that's 28, 14, 12, right?
Yes. So that'll be 26 plus 28. That'll be 54. That is enough.
That's exact for yeah.
That's exactly game.
Look at Eric's body position. Yeah, it's over.
Not happy. Wow.
And Idris, Mermails of all things, taking us to the top 4 of the YOCC championship here in Mississauga.